Hi, my name is Dennis, and I'm going to tell you why I am First Phorm. For me, First Phorm represents an idea. The idea that no matter who you are, where you come from, how old you are, what your background is, that if you're willing to work hard, that you can achieve the result that you're looking for, that you can win. That is what First Phorm means to me. Not only that, but there's a community of people who think like this. They will surround you, support you, and motivate you along the way. I am First Phorm because I feel like what I've been able to do over the last 2 years of my life does nothing but embody that entire message and that entire idea. I found First Phorm through really reaching a low point in my life. At the end of 2016, I was 40 years old, I was 280 pounds, and I made the commitment that I was going to do the hard work for as long as it took in order to get the result that I was looking for. And I was not willing to settle for anything less. I had tried and failed more times than I could count. As I entered 2018, I set new challenges for myself. I started the year thinking to myself that I wanted to do my first triathlon. Well, I had never swam before, ever. I was a fat kid growing up, so setting a goal of having to do a triathlon sometime in the course of 2018 at the time was pretty daunting. And so approaching the sport of swimming in a world where I had never really swam ever required me to put forth the same effort that I did towards losing weight, where it was going to take a lot of work, a lot of frustration, a lot of dedication and discipline. And in June of 2018, I did my first triathlon. I swam close to a mile, and since then I've continued to swim as I have an eye towards doing a half Ironman and eventually a full Ironman in 2019. In 2018, I decided to take on the challenge of running my first marathon. If you had asked me at any point in the first 40 years of my life, would I consider doing a marathon, I probably would curse you in some way and ask you if you were mentally unstable, because there was no way on God's earth that I was going to do a full marathon. But the mindset that I had coming out of 2017 and the fact that I could do anything if I worked hard enough for it, to me that said that there was no challenge that I could not take on. So I signed up for a marathon in November. I signed up back in March. It was a long, hard road to get to November. It was a lot of training. And through First Phorm and through being part of the community, I actually became friends with a guy named Ray Law, who, out of the goodness of his heart, decided he wanted to help me train for that marathon. And so that First Phorm community, even beyond losing weight, continued to be a big part of my life as I looked to take on bigger and badder challenges over the course of 2018. Another big part of what this brand represents to me is helping other people. After I did what I did in 2017, I have dedicated a good portion of my time in 2018 to helping other people do the same thing that I did. And I've been able to help some people lose weight along the way, and I'll be honest with you, there's no better feeling that I can describe than paying it forward. And in some cases, I've been able to help people that I didn't even know, that I met through social media, through this community that First Phorm has created. I've gotten to know people and helped them lose 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds along the way. And I'll be honest with you, there's no better feeling for me than to help somebody else do the same thing that I did, to pay it forward. That's really something that I get a big charge out of, and I feel like that's another way that I embody the values that this brand puts forward. And the reason why I wear this logo on my chest really frequently is I'm proud of everything that First Phorm represents. I'm proud of everything that First Phorm's done for me in my life. I'm proud of the person I've become as a result of becoming affiliated with First Phorm. I've made a bunch of new friends that are associated with the brand. I've made friends that are fellow Transformers. I've made friends that are part of the brand that actually are, that work there. And those people make me better. And, I can't thank First Phorm, the community, the surrounding the company, the people inside the company. I'll never be able to thank them enough for everything that they've done for me along the way. And for me, becoming a First Phorm athlete or an ambassador of some way, to me just formalizes something that I already do, which is represent the values that this brand puts forth, because they're the values that make me a better person. What makes me unique is I'm a Transformer. There's nobody currently in the athlete ranks that is like me. I'm not your classic, big and jacked athlete who's been athletic most of his life. I'm someone who's made the change recently. I made the change, but I'm also someone who I can call myself an athlete now, and I can call myself someone who has embodied the values that First Phorm represents over the past 2 years of his life, and will continue. I'm very confident for the rest of my life. There's no going back. I use the term "burn the boats" a lot because I can't see a scenario where I could ever go back to being the old way that I was. That person wasn't very happy. He wasn't a very good person. He wasn't always the most pleasant person to be around, and I feel like I'm a better person. And to me, this brand represents all of the values that help me be that person. So, for me, I present the opportunity for a different kind of First Phorm athlete than what's currently on the roster, but no less of a complete representation of the brand. So I hope this video has convinced you, and look, if I'm not fortunate enough to win the First Phorm athlete search or even a brand ambassador, it's not really going to change anything that I do, on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. I'm going to continue to live these values. I'm going to continue to wear this logo most days of the week, and continue to live my life the First Phorm way. So, for me, it's a lifestyle. For me, I've demonstrated that it's a lifestyle, and I hope to continue to be associated with the brand in some way, shape, or form. For the future, as long as they'll have me, then I'm willing to proudly help represent and help represent this brand.